all I'm going to say is this, right? Reason why I'm making this live stream is because I'm getting tired of talking about it. When you look at last year, right? Amari Cooper has been that number one in Dallas. Okay. I'm not saying CeeDee Lamb is bad. I'm not saying he's been trash. I'm not saying that I wouldn't take him. Absolutely, I would. I'd take him over Devontae Smith. I like Devontae Smith. Do I think CeeDee Lamb is better than Devontae? Hell yeah, I do. Comparing a receiver to an A.J. Brown, it's not. What are we discussing? His production? A.J. Brown, to me, when you look at Dak Prescott and Tannehill, Tannehill is not better than Dak. I talk shit about Dak all the time. I tell him that but let me be real with you. I think Ryan Tannehill sucks. Ryan Tannehill is a horrible quarterback. That's why they drafted Malik Willis, because he is not an elite quarterback. He's not even an average quarterback. He's a choke artist at best. He can't get down the field. Now, Dak can't get down the field, but Dak can win games when he has elite receivers around him. All right. CeeDee Lamb, when he played against Darius Slay the one time, right? I think it was his rookie year. Darius Slay picked him off. When you look at the last year's game, where was he on Darius Slay? He wasn't. He was on Nelson. Steven Nelson got cooked because Darius Slay had Amari Cooper, and he shut him down, and which opened the field for who? CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, the tight end, because our linebackers stunk. Okay, Alex Singleton couldn't cover for crap. Kayvon Wallace was garbage. He got hurt. CeeDee Lamb has not versed, I don't think, let me know, a number one corner yet. That is mainly on him. I'm not talking about one game in practice where he versed Ramsey. Okay, Ramsey's going to get beat once in a while. But when he played against him in the game, I've not seen that. I've seen Amari Cooper go against elite. Let me be real with you. As much as I don't like Amari Cooper taking himself out of games, he's been productive for Dallas. And Dallas is not going to have that same production like they think they do, because they think CeeDee Lamb is going to turn into that number one receiver. And I'm going to tell you right now, some of the receivers, look at Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley struggled being that number one. We saw last year. It's hard to be that number one because you're so used to being that guy that gets all the targets, and now you're focused on being that number one dude. Darius Slay's going to lock down that dude. I'm not worried about CeeDee Lamb. And to have that comparison to AJ Brown has been that number one dude. Look at Ryan Tannehill. Who does he throw to? It wasn't Julio Jones. It wasn't Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's been a whole offense. But Ryan Tannehill has thrown to who? A.J. Brown. Why has he thrown to A.J. Brown? Because he's the number one receiver. And he can win against elite corners. I've not seen CeeDee Lamb done that. Jalen Mills does not fucking count, so stop it, okay? Mills is garbage, okay? Amari Cooper has played being that number one. He has been that number one dude for Dallas. You had to stop him and double cover him. He's been a problem. He creates, when you look at the separation for CeeDee Lamb, you see all these catches. Look at the film. I just went back and filmed. I saw one on Twitter. I wish I could download it right now, but it's a guy who, obviously we had to mute everything down, but it showed that Amari Cooper was making some of, was designing, literally doing the route running, the techniques to create a lot of, problems in the secondary where they had to focus on him, and they allowed who open? CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup. Now you don't have that anymore. Okay, so, Big Play Slay tell me I'm retarded. Man, get the fuck off my channel, dude. You're retarded. Get the hell off my channel, bro. Bye. I don't rock with that shit. Get the fuck off my channel. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about most times. Okay? Mr. Daniel Jones, Ben, and Jalen Hurts, go sit down. Now go sit down on a little kid channel now. And whoever don't like it, too bad. Get the fuck off my channel. Hey, dude, he's not been that number one receiver. He's not versed elite corners. You're retarded. You don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say he can't be. I say he hasn't shown it yet. Dummy. Take your 15-year-old kid ass back over there. Go do what Giant fans do. Go make another video with your 1,000 subscribers that I don't care less about. Bye. Fuck out of here. Disrespect me like on my channel. Yeah, you got me messed up. Ryan Tannehill is one of the most overrated quarterbacks. He is. He is. And Dak is, to me, I'm not being biased, and I don't think I am. Dak is a better quarterback than him. If you put A.J. Brown on the Cowboys team right now, I think you could talk about CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown identical numbers. Because A.J. Brown is also, you got to say he missed 6 games. That affects your percentage of how many catches you get, your yards after catch, and all that stuff that they're talking about. They love talking, and see, this is the problem with Cowboy fans, man. They love talking about, well, CeeDee Lamb's more yards. So what? Why does he have more yards? Because he's not the number one. Amari Cooper was. And when you look at Amari Cooper, his yards died down. Ever notice that? Why is that? Like, I don't know if his yards died down. I think last year it did. Because he was getting double covered. Amari Cooper was going against the Lattimores, not CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper was going against Carlton Davis, not CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper was going against Darius Slays and Jai Alexanders and the Ramseys, not CeeDee Lamb. I'm not saying CeeDee Lamb. To me, CeeDee Lamb ain't better than Justin Jefferson. You telling me Justin Jefferson ain't better than CeeDee Lamb? Stop it, man. CeeDee Lamb is not, to me, better than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, when you look at, but we could talk about Jamar Chase. You know, no, I'll say CeeDee Lamb's better than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has to prove another year he can do what he did. He's not versus elite corners yet. And until he does, until he beats that number one dude, until he doesn't have to worry about Amari Cooper helping him out, and he is that dude that gets the receivers wide open, or he's able to beat elite corners, I can't put him with the conversation with A.J. Brown. Because we're talking about, it's like Ryan Tannehill is better than Dak, right? Even though I don't think he is, but he's played more, so he's better than Dak. Well, no, it doesn't mean that. Just because he played more, well, nah, that wouldn't be the same. Never mind. Fuck that. Screw that. You know what I'm saying? A.J. Brown is a better number one receiver, and CeeDee Lamb to me is a guy that's a number two is going to translate to be that number one. Now, in Oklahoma, he was that number one dude. He was that number one dude. And I don't think it's going to be hard for him. I think it's going to be a tough situation in the NFL because he's not going to be used to that. And Dak Prescott, you remember the reason why why do you think they traded for Amari Cooper? Because when they didn't have a number one receiver, when Dak didn't have everything around him, what did he do? He struggled. He couldn't throw to wide open targets. He missed a lot of receivers. I'll guarantee you by week 15, Deebo Samuel will be a Dallas Cowboy. And why do I say that? Because they're going to try out CeeDee Lamb, and I think CeeDee Lamb's going to struggle a little bit. When you look at the schedule, they're playing against Tampa Bay. He's going against Carlton Davis. I don't know who the Bengals cornerback. I think he can beat that corner. Cincinnati's corner. I don't know who that is. But he's going against that number one corner. He's not going against number twos anymore. This ain't no Steven Nelson's on him anymore. There isn't no freaking number two corners on him. That's all and done. It's now the big boy channel now. It's now, hey, you're a big boy now. Now you're going against the big boy corners that get paid a lot. CeeDee Lamb, we don't need Amari Cooper. We got you now. You're the number one, right? It's going to be a different game for him. It's not practice anymore. Now it's you got to be that dude. You got to step up and be that dude. Now it's come and get that money. Go and earn that money. Show that you can be that number one, that you weren't in Oklahoma. That's why we drafted you. as a Cowboy. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we didn't draft him. We should have drafted him, but we didn't do it, which I'm happy we got. Like I said, I like Devontae Smith, but I would love that. I like CeeDee Lamb better. Devontae Smith, I like him, but I think CeeDee Lamb right now, I can change, is better than Devontae Smith because he played more. Now, Devontae Smith, we could argue he could have more catches. I think a lot of people are disrespecting Terry McLaurin too. I mean, Terry McLaurin has been a problem. He's a number one receiver. So we put in a number two. Let's be real, number two. Michael Gallup is the number three. Wilson was the number four. And number two, in the same conversation. This is how crazy Cowboy fans are. They love comparing stats. CeeDee Lamb has not versed number one corners. And when he did, how many yards did he really have? I don't think he has versed number one corners yet. Let me know if he has. I don't think he has. He's not versed Marlon Humphreys. He's not versed. I'm sorry, Marlon Humphreys. Is he number one or is he number two? Because if he's number one, no, it'd be Marcus Peters. But he was hurt. So it would have been a Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey's the number one. I forget. I think he's number two. So he has a verse in the Patrick Petersons. Hold up. Sorry about that. I got a text message. He's not versed those number one corners. Until he does it, I'm not comparing no. I don't give a damn what Cowboy fans said. Y'all just love picking things out. Like, where the hell did this come from? A.J. Brown is a number one receiver. And yes, A.J. Brown doesn't have all those stats. But I'm going to tell you right now, this year, he's not going to be the only dude that's going to get open. And if he doesn't have the number one stats, so what? Number one receivers are not always about stats and catches after yards. Sometimes there are little things like they get the other receivers open. They create a lot of distraction for other secondaries to worry about them. That way, other receivers like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, what Amari Cooper was. It's why Dak had receivers wide open. Now he's not going to have that. Why CeeDee Lamb was always open. Why Michael Gallup was always open. And Cedric Wilson. When Amari Cooper was in there, what happened? They lost. And they couldn't find the rhythm. It took them a while to figure out what they were going to do because Amari Cooper was important. That's why I'm saying Cowboy fans are scared. They know they're not going to be the same. And I don't care about what they think. I don't care what no Cowboy content says because we can just show what they were without Amari Cooper. Dak was struggling, and he looked like deer in headlights. And if you remember right, he went 7-9, I believe, that year. And then the following year, when they didn't give him the number one receiver, he struggled, and they had to trade for the number one. Now you're taking away that number one receiver that Dak has been used to having. You're making CeeDee Lamb, who's not been that number one receiver. He's shown it in college, but this is, again, college, NFL are two separate sports. Corners are way better in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb has not versed a Darius Slay one-on-one. Ashley versed him. Matched up against him. He's not versed that. He's versed him one time, and he ended up getting a pick in that game, which we lost to in Dallas, by the way. But he shut down Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper has been locked down by Darius Slay. CeeDee Lamb has not been that number one. So Cowboy fans who saying that, they're just talking at that point. They're talking out their asses because they're scared. And they know that the Eagles are not playing games anymore with them. That they know they better go out and get James Bradbury in Dallas to help Diggs out. Because they know when CeeDee Lamb has to be that number one, they better hold their breath and hope he can develop and not turn into another Calvin Ridley situation. Justin Jefferson has been number one. That's why I'm not even comparing them to anything. Now you can make a case that CeeDee Lamb and Adam Thielen, let's talk about it. They're number twos. They're number twos. I get you want to compare those. Fine, go for it. If you want to talk about A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb, let's talk about it. CeeDee Lamb, yes, he has more production. Why does he have more production? Because he's not been that number one dude. Until he shows he can do that and still put numbers up, I'm not comparing them. Nor am I going to have conversations with stupid content creators, knowing Cowboy fans, running their damn mouth, PFF Shut your sorry ass, nerd, goofy ass. You know, the PFF and these bloggers, man, they got so much stupidity out their goddamn mouth, man. Where the hell did this come from? Like, do you just wake up in the morning and say, let's talk about this? This sounds interesting. No, it doesn't. It's stupid. Because it's not even fair. You comparing the number 2 to a number 1 receiver who's been the number 1. When A.J. Brown's also a second round pick too, but he's been that number 1 for Tennessee. Not Julio Jones, not Corey Davis. Corey Davis couldn't even stay healthy. It's not like the Eagles got Adam Thielen. They got A.J. Brown, the guy who's been a threat for defense. Why does A.J. Brown? Let's talk about A.J. Brown might not have a lot of yards because teams got to stop him. Now it's going to be hard. And I deal with this with Cowboy fans in my job. They talk about, oh, Dak. They love bringing up Dak. Well, Dak had CeeDee Lamb when Mari Cooper went out. When Mari Cooper went out, what, 2 games? And they lost. They lost. They lost. They could not score more than, I believe, 40 points. What was that? The Raiders game? They lost. They lost. When is he versus elite corners? Now I ain't trying to hear about practice, man. Don't tell me Ramsey versus them in practice. He beat him. Practice. In games I'm talking about. CeeDee Lamb can be that number 1 dude. I'm not saying he can't be. Okay, so the title says CeeDee Lamb has not been that number 1. He hasn't. Has he versed Darius Slay 1-on-1? No, he hasn't. That's a number 1 receiver. When you're versing the greatest corners that get paid to shut down number 1. No one is focused on CeeDee Lamb last year. Who were they focused on? Dallas. Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb might be a threat to them, but they weren't game planning on CeeDee Lamb. They were game planning on who? Amari Cooper. Who were the Chiefs game planning on? It wasn't Sammy. It wasn't Travis Kelce. It was who? Tyreek Hill. And Travis Kelce might be number 2, but who were they game planning on? Tyreek Hill. Same with the Bengals. Who were they game planning for? Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You know, he was a number 2. He still got yard. But Jamar Chase also has a better quarterback, but still, they have a lot of weapons also. When they play the Vikings, who are they focused on the most? It's not Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen might be a threat. Who are they focused on? Justin Jefferson. You see the difference? No one is focused on no CeeDee Lamb when they're game planning. They're focused on Amari Cooper. Low, he's banned me. No, I banned you. No, I didn't ban you. I put your ass in timeout because you don't even know what you're talking about. Tell me I'm retarded for saying, how has CeeDee Lamb been the number 1 receiver? What, because he has stats? Dude, he has stats because Amari Cooper was getting him open. Open your head and actually think. Oh, wait, we don't do that. Never mind. No, I didn't ban you, bro. I timed you out because you were out of pocket. And you know damn well I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Tell me CeeDee Lamb is when is he versus number 1 corner? You name me a game where he's versus number 1 corner. And he's obliterated him. Because I've not seen that. I've seen Amari Cooper on Darius Slay. I've seen Amari Cooper on Lattimore. I've seen Amari Cooper on Jair Alexander. I've not seen CeeDee Lamb versus those 3 yet. When? Where? He's going to verse him this year, and I'm not saying he can't be that number 1. I'm not saying he's horrible. I didn't say he sucks. I didn't say he was terrible. I say he's not been that number 1. So we're not comparing A.J. Brown to CeeDee Lamb when they're not even the same receiver yet. They have not been. A.J. Brown has been that number 1. CeeDee Lamb has translated into being that number 1 just this year. This is the first year that he's going to be officially the number 1, where corners are going to game plan and actually find ways to prevent him from beating him down the field, for beating their secondary down the field, because they had to worry about Amari Cooper, and now they don't have to. So Michael Gallup will get more looks probably, and so will Washington probably, because CeeDee Lamb will have to have, or maybe they don't. Know what you're talking about. I'm coming to my comment section with that BS. I'm opening my head. You literally just said people don't game plan for C. Bro, they weren't game plan for C. They game plan, but they also, who are they focused on the most? See, this is why I don't talk to little kids, dude. That's exactly why. He's a little kid. He doesn't understand. Who are they worried about? CeeDee Lamb? No, they're worried about Amari Cooper. Dude, what are you talking about? Yo. Are they talking about CeeDee Lamb in game plans? No. Who are they talking about last year? They weren't talking about CeeDee Lamb being the number one threat. He might have been a threat that they had to worry about, but who's been that number one receiver for Dallas? Amari Cooper. What happens when you leave Amari Cooper 1-on-1? He burns you. Why do you think they double covered him? And they try to stop him. Why do you think CeeDee Lamb was always open? Yeah, open your damn head and actually try to think before you talk. It would help. It would help. It really would. Yeah, my face, man. I don't talk to little. I'm ignoring this kid, man, because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks he does. He thinks he knows everything. He really doesn't. He sounds like an idiot right now. Because you don't even know what you're saying. Amari Cooper has been that number one for Dallas. Has he not been? CeeDee Lamb is going to get all the attention this year. I'm not saying he can't be that number one like Amari Cooper would. I didn't say all that. I said he's not been the number one receiver where he's physically been on number one corners. When we seen a match where Slay and versus CeeDee Lamb, let me know, because I've seen Amari Cooper versus Slay. Marshawn Lattimore, when he's versed a Cooper. You don't know what you're talking about. So I'm not even going to read his comment. He's a 15-year-old kid talking out his ass. Thinks he knows everything because he got subs. I could give two shits about him. Like I said, just because you have a channel don't mean you're intelligent, dude. Is a weapon off. I didn't say he wasn't a weapon. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands. Why would you not gameplay? I didn't say you. See, this is why I'm talking about little kids on grown channels don't know what they're talking about. I didn't say he wasn't a threat. I didn't say you didn't have the game plan. I didn't say all that. I said he wasn't the focus. Do you not know what that means? They would have the game plan for him, obviously, because he's a weapon. Any weapon on your team, you're going to have the game plan for, right? But they didn't put their number one corner on CeeDee Lamb, did they? Who did they put it on? Amari Cooper. Again, you don't know what you're talking about. So you're here talking shit that you don't even know what you're saying. Instead of thinking and saying, let me see what he's saying. And then trying to say, yeah, he's right. When it's Darius Slay versus CeeDee Lamb, matchup wise, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm not seeing it yet. But maybe you can help me out because since you think you know it all. Come on, bro. Come on. Come on. You gotta think before you talk, dude. No kids on my channel, dude. Oh no, she's at work. He's not been that number one receiver, dude. He has not been that. So before we open our mouths and talk about things that we don't know, actually learn and comprehend shit. Okay? I've been watching football for a long time. CeeDee Lamb has not played against a Darius Slay. Have you ever seen Marshawn Lattimore on Darius Slay? CeeDee Lamb physically, 1-on-1. Maybe one time, but that's it. You don't know what you're talking about. You think you do. You think you're all that, and you're not. You're a 15-year-old kid. Stay in a child's place. Okay? And if you're going to say something, to be at least intelligent with it and know what you're talking about. I didn't say CeeDee Lamb was a bad receiver. I didn't say he was under threat. You said that. That was not in my words. I said he's not been physically the number one where teams have game plan for him, that he's the main target. That Dak Prescott's number one receiver has been CeeDee Lamb. He's not been that. Amari Cooper has been. Now you take it away. He's going to get that chance. And if he does it, and I'll say he's the number one. A.J. Brown, when teams have to go against, when they go against him, they put the number one corners on A.J. Brown. So what? Other receivers, Julio Jones is, dude. You gotta understand what I'm trying to say. I didn't say CeeDee Lamb. See, I don't even know why I'm yelling because it's a little kid talking, but I'm trying to help him out because he's literally just yapping. He know he's trolling because if he actually listens, understands something, maybe he'll learn something. But knowing this kid, he thinks he's all that because he got 1,000 subscribers. It's cool. I don't give two shits. All right. CeeDee Lamb has not versed number one corners. He's played number twos. When the Eagles played Dallas, did they put Darius Slay on him? No. They put Nelson on him. Darius Slay was on Amari Cooper. I don't even know why I'm explaining this to kid. This kid's supposed to know everything, but doesn't even know simple fucking coverages, dude. Look for my fucking. Oh shit! Don't tell me. Don't fucking tell me. God damn it. Fuck it. Ah shit! I lost my fucking thing. Oh well. Fuck it. I gotta get a new one. So I'm looking for my. I have to charge my phone because it's about to die. It's only 4%. Fucking hate this phone sometimes. And I lost my thing to plug it in. Help me which what I watch football. I know. So if you knew, then why are you saying I didn't say CeeDee Lamb was bad? When did I say CeeDee Lamb was bad? You don't watch. Would you? If you do watch football, have you seen CeeDee Lamb versus number one corners? Was he on Lattimore? Was he on Darius Slay? Was Darius Slay on mainly on CeeDee Lamb? No. He was on Amari Cooper. Lattimore was on Amari Cooper. Dallas Cowboys had Amari Cooper. That was their number one guy. That was Dak's number one guy. CeeDee Lamb might have been a weapon, but Dak Prescott's main weapon was who? The number one dude, Amari Cooper. He was the threat that teams worried about. CeeDee Lamb, they obviously were worrying about him, but he wasn't the main dude that they were trying to prevent because of his route running techniques. CeeDee Lamb is a great receiver. I'm not saying he isn't. A.J. Brown has been on cornerbacks that are legit starters that actually are number one dudes who got paid millions to shut down number one receivers. CeeDee Lamb has not versed that yet. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a threat. I'm not saying that they don't game plan for him. Of course they game plan. They game plan for every receiver. Why wouldn't they? But they haven't physically game plan on CeeDee Lamb where they mainly focus on the number one guy, how to stop Dallas. When you go in the game plan, who are they talking about? They ain't talking about CeeDee Lamb. That's one of the guys they talk about. Who they talk about also? Amari Cooper. Now he's not there. Now CeeDee Lamb's going to be that number one dude that they're going to say, you got to stop number one receiver, CeeDee Lamb. They talk about him also with Amari Cooper, but now they're going to talk about mainly CeeDee Lamb. That is been die. I hate that. We're just going to do this. That's why I say you don't know what you're talking about. Because if you did, you would know simple coverages. But like I said, man, I mean, it is what it is. You call me retarded, but you don't even know what you're talking about, man. How do you make sense? You call someone retarded, but you don't even know basic coverages. Because if you did, you would know that number one corners go on number one receivers, right? CeeDee Lamb is not a number one receiver. He is translated into number one receiver this year. He's been the number two. He might have more yards, more production than Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper has been number one for Dak Prescott. When Dak needs someone, a big play, it's been Amari Cooper. That's why they traded for him from Oakland to the Cowboys. I mean, the Raiders traded Cooper to the Cowboys for Dak to be that for his number one target. CeeDee Lamb was drafted to be the number two to help Cooper. I'm not saying they don't game plan for him. Listen to the words, dude. Name me 7 bases. I'm not going into with you, bro. You just talk. See, now you want to dictate. Admit that you were wrong and sit down and stay in child's place. See, I ain't doing all that, bro. Eagle Champ never said CeeDee Lamb was bad. I didn't say exactly. Said number one corners wasn't game planning around CeeDee Lamb because he's number two. Exactly. Thank you. I can't believe a 15-year-old kid supposedly knows all this, has all these subscribers, but yet doesn't understand a simple fucking thing that like, I don't know if I'm being too harsh on him. Maybe I am. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be too harsh on you. But still, I mean, come on, bro. I didn't say CeeDee Lamb sucks, but comparing A.J. Brown to CeeDee Lamb, it's ridiculous. Because to me, who's been the number one dude? Tennessee had the number one receiver who they target a lot, and that was A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is the number one receiver that Ryan Tannehill went to every single play. Derrick Henry was the running, the force of the whole team. They were a running team. Mostly they ran the ball a lot, but when they threw it, who did they go to? A.J. Brown. They didn't go to the number two. I mean, they did when A.J. Brown wasn't open, but he couldn't stay healthy, and that was Julio Jones. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying CeeDee Lamb is a bad receiver. I never said I hated CeeDee Lamb. I said CeeDee Lamb has not physically went against corners that are elite. Elite, like get paid big money, like a Joe Alexander, like a Ramsey, like Darius Slay in game days, not practices, but physically one-on-one matchups where they're going at each other, where the main focus on Dallas' game plan is to stop CeeDee Lamb because he's number one for Dak Prescott. They didn't focus on that last year. He was a threat, and they game planned for him, but they game plan mostly on who? Amari Cooper. He's been that number one dude for Dak. That's all I'm saying. Listen to the words, dude. Name 7 basic cuts. Man, that's clown talk now. Now you just being a clown. So I ain't going to even acknowledge that. I like Jalen Ramsey, Alexander, Trey White, Patrick Surtain too. Darius Slay, Howard, Stan. I get, yeah. I mean, they're good corners. You know what I'm saying? Once again, Eagle champ never said CeeDee Lamb was bad. The problem is, again, he's strong number 2 receiver, and he's the number 1 corner. We're covering Cooper, not him. Exactly. Darius Slay has been on number 1 receivers. He's not been on Cooper. When you saw last year, was Darius Slay ever on CeeDee Lamb? No. He should have been, because to me, Amari Cooper wasn't doing nothing, but he wasn't on him. Nelson was. And so was Kayvon freaking garbage ass Wallace, which I don't know why. I wish we traded for Chuck Clark. We need a lot, man. Like I said, we need cornerback. I'm trying to figure out why we haven't signed Bradbury yet. I think we're waiting for. I honestly think Clark is coming to Philly, because to me, it's like, I'm not going to say guarantees coming to Philly. I'm just saying it looks like it, because when you hear talks, it's usually like, we heard talks with A.J. Brown, right? Maybe it comes. Maybe they're waiting on the Chuck Clark deal to get done. Maybe there's a deal in place, and maybe they're going to sign Clark. They're going to trade for Clark, get him signed, and then maybe they'll sign Bradbury. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to last that long, because there's a lot of corners a lot of teams that would use him as the number 1 corner. He's had experience. Maybe he doesn't want to be the number 2. I don't know. Maybe he said, I don't want to be number 2. I want to be number 1. Well, you can't be here because Darius Slay's the number 1. You got paid like one. Calvin Lopez, yeah, running his Lamar is claimed to be frame. Lamar stinks. But like I said, man, I mean, when you look at this team, and sorry, I'm under the weather a little bit. I got a little sore throat, allergy season, shit. I mean, and I work today. I just got back home. Figured to do a lot because this is a just stupid topic. A.J. Brown doesn't have the better numbers. No, obviously CeeDee Lamb does, right? Justin Jefferson has the better numbers. A.J. Brown also is a completely different receiver than a Justin Jefferson, than a Jamar Chase, than a CeeDee Lamb. They're two different receivers. One is a big body receiver that goes up and gets it, and the other guy's a yak receiver. We got to stop comparing receivers to receivers that are not even the same body frame, okay? CeeDee Lamb is a guy that goes up and gets the ball, but he also runs after catches. A.J. Brown is a guy who goes up and gets 50-50 balls, and he has speed to get down, and he has speed to get down the field. But he's not going to juke you. He's not going to do all that. He's a big physical receiver that goes up and gets the ball, uses his speed, uses his power, uses his body frame to snatch the ball out of the air and try to make a play, and teams have to chase him down. Okay, he's Alshon Jeffrey, just a little bit faster. I think he's better than Alshon Jeffrey. Okay, CeeDee Lamb is a yak yard receiver. He's a guy that will track a ball down and has the speed to get downfield. Okay, he's a good receiver. I'm not saying he isn't. I like CeeDee Lamb. I wanted him in the draft. Once again, the reason Hollywood Brown left was because he wasn't only getting 2 targets. Well, Hollywood Brown left because he's not a number 1 receiver. And the Ravens, that was supposedly their number 1. He's not that number 1. He's a number 2. Even in Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb has always been that number 1. Just like in look at LSU, Justin Jefferson's been number 2. Jamar Chase has been better and always will be better than Justin Jefferson. I always said Justin Jefferson wasn't better than Jamar. Even at LSU, Jamar Chase put better numbers, and he was a number 1 receiver. Now, they're both good, but I think Jamar Chase is better than Justin Jefferson. Jefferson is a good receiver, but Jamar Chase is a way better all-round receiver. Jamar Chase went against elite number 1 corners. He went against the Stinnies. He went against the Satans. He went against the who else? The Boofs. Who else? He went against the who else? Name me another corner from college that's probably coming out next year. Probably this Sauce Garners. He went all with him. He went against those type of corners. Jefferson went against number 2s, and he translated to number 1. Actually, no. Wait, kind of think of it. Isn't Adam Thielen number 1, or is he number 2? I don't know. I kind of think of it. I thought Justin Jefferson was number 2, but no, he might be number 1. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I think Justin Jefferson is number 2 because Adam Thielen is number 1, isn't he? Or is he number 2? No, he's number 1 because Justin Jefferson replaced Diggs, and he's the number 1 receiver. So okay, never mind. Once again, the reason Hollywood Brown left was because he was number 2. He never translated to that number 1 receiver. He never was that number 1 receiver that the Ravens were looking for. And plus, Lamar cannot throw downfield. Everyone will talk about Jalen Hurts throwing accuracy. Lamar is a worse arm, in my opinion. I mean, look at the commercial with he throwing to the kids. He couldn't even throw a ball that was accurate. The kid had to go up, dive down, and catch the ball. That's how bad his arm is. He doesn't have that arm release. He doesn't have that arm strength. That's something you have to have. And he doesn't have the accuracy to do it. He struggles. That's why he when he got hurt and he got sprained ankle, he kept himself out the playoffs. No other quarterback would have done that, but Lamar needed that because he can't throw from the pocket. He struggles with that. And a lot of Ravens fans don't want to hear that, and there are a lot of people who say I'm wrong. But why did he take himself out of the game? If Lamar could throw, why did he take himself out of the game? Sprained knee doesn't prevent you from playing. It wasn't a torn ACL, and it wasn't even a bad sprain. It was a minor. But it was effective enough for him to not be able to run like he's always done because he's not able to throw from the pocket, where Jalen Hurts could throw from the pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's why he had best, in my opinion, it's proven he had better percentages than a Lamar. Lamar cannot throw from the pocket. He needs his running ability. And when he doesn't have it, he struggles. And plus, he can't read coverages. He struggled against that. That's why he lost to the Buffalo Bills. For one reason why they lost to the Bills. Because Lamar tried to throw in double coverage when it was a two-man, it was a too high. It was some coverage. I think it was a man-to-man or something like that, or where a safety in the corner were like I forget what coverage is, but it was a coverage where he didn't see, and quarterbacks who are supposedly good in the NFL read that and they make the play, and Lamar can't do. He just doesn't have that IQ right now, and he doesn't have that. He's never played against real competition. Part of being a quarterback is you got to be able to play against real competition. Lamar's from Louisville. What corners were there? When have they ever played against Alabama's, the Clemsons? Never played against them. He was a small school quarterback. I think Louisville's small. Because I think that's where fucking Mark Smith was from. Bum. He's a bum. I hated Mark Smith. Once again, the reason how well I think we read that. Pick six, Tyron. Yeah, yeah. And just think if Lamar didn't throw it and he just let's say just threw it out of bounds, live another day, they probably could have won that game because he could have threw. Maybe he could have ran the football and they could have got something done. But that goes back to awareness and able to learn and get better as a quarterback. You got to be able to read that, especially when you're number one pick. He struggles with that. He needs his legs. All right. And, that's why I say he's not going to be able to last in the league. A lot of people don't like it. Why do you think the Ravens haven't paid him yet? I don't think the Ravens have given him an extension. Why is that? Because they haven't seen he can be that guy where they can build around him and say, go win me a championship. And he is not on Mahomes' level. He's not on Josh Allen's level. Okay. He's not on. I don't care what the stats say. Look at the production. He's not even, to me, he's not even on Dak's level. He's not on that. Dak, I think, can take that Ravens team with that talent. Well, then again, I mean, that Dak can't even take the Cowboys team talent. Never mind. He's not even on those elite quarterbacks level. But he wants to get paid like one. Come on. How are you going to get paid like one, but you don't show you can be that one? They always say, you got to show it before you receive it. You got to show that you got to show you're about it before people look at you as those guys. Russell Wilson has shown he can do it. He's elite. Lamar's not on Russell Wilson level. He's not on Josh Allen's level. He's not on Watson's level. Watson's a better quarterback. And I said the Ravens should trade for him. I'm surprised Watson didn't go to the Ravens. If I was a Ravens GM, I would have pulled that trigger. Because I think with a better quarterback, they would have been very, very dangerous. Look at Joe Flacco. Look when they got rid of him. They haven't been the same. They were very much of an effective team with a quarterback who had an arm. You know what I'm saying? Kyler Orton reads better. Defense never came clutch. Kyle Orton stinks. I don't even know why we bring him. Kyle Orton's better than Lamar. Well, Kyle Orton was a backup. I mean, I guess so. But like I said, I mean, CeeDee Lamb isn't a number one receiver. A lot of people don't like that. But, you're comparing a number one receiver to a number two. Come on. How's that fair? CeeDee Lamb has been the number one receiver as of right now. But he's not shown he can be that dude until he plays against corners. I want to see him go against those cornerbacks and beat them. If he can do that, then so be it. And put the numbers, then we could go talk about A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb, who's better at number one, who's the better MCs. But I would even argue maybe we should talk about McLaurin and A.J. Brown because McLaurin has been the number one. McLaurin is better than CeeDee Lamb right now because CeeDee Lamb has not been the number one receiver. CeeDee Lamb has been number two. They focus a lot on Mark Cooper. Now Mark Cooper's not there. We're going to see what CeeDee Lamb does when he has been. Now the attention goes back on him. And they're going to focus and they're going to game plan, especially on to stop him. He's that number one dude. When Dak needs that number one guy, he's going to be that dude. The same with Amari Cooper, who was for Dak. Now it's for Watson. Now A.J. Brown was for Tannehill. Now it's going to be for Hurts. Same with Hopkins was for Watson. It's now for Kyler Murray. CeeDee Lamb ain't on. Come on. Diggs for Cousins is now for Allen. Those are number one receivers. When you have the game plan, when you're specifically trying to stop that number one dude because he's dangerous, and that's how you beat that team. All right. Lamar's not Dak. No, Dak is a better quarterback than Lamar. Stop him. Dak is a way better quarterback than Lamar. I'll say it again. Dak is a way better quarterback than Lamar. Dak Prescott is to me a guy who can throw, and I'm not saying anything bad about Dak. Dak would have won that game in the Bills game. I think he makes that throw. Lamar's not good. People tell me Jalen Hurts is Taysom Hill. No, Lamar is Taysom Hill. Lamar cannot throw. He doesn't have the arm accuracy, and just shows it. I mean, they show these clips of him throwing these balls in practice. But some of those balls are underthrown or the balls where receivers have to come and get. Every game you see a deep ball by Lamar try to be a deep ball. And it's a ball where they have to go back and track it because how bad it is. Or it's underthrown. It's not even overthrown. Jalen Hurts, when he throws it, is either overthrown or it's, you know, a throw where the receiver drops it. It's never been where it's in the dirt. Like he throws it in the dirt. Lamar throws it in the dirt, throws it so low the receiver has to get. He throws like that. He goes like this, where he's supposed to go like that, and step forward. He doesn't have that ability, and that's why he struggles because you got to be able to have the arm strength. If you don't have the arm strength, you better have damn good accuracy. He doesn't have that. I don't care about stats, man. Yes, he threw it to a tight end how many times? Okay. Yeah, but stats also can mean where the tight end also make people miss and they get more yards. Makes Lamar look good. But Lamar, when you need him in the clutch moments, he can't do it. He'll juke you. He'll make these incredible moves. He'll make you go, wow, look at his legs. Look what he can do. He's Superman, all that shit. But when it was playoff time, what has he done? Nothing. He choked. He choked it all. So I mean that's pretty much what I say, man. I'm not gonna be here that too long. I just want to get that out. We've been here for 48, 17. I think it's been a good long. I mean, pretty much that's what I'm gonna say. I got a video coming up about Traylon Burks. I don't know if you saw, but he looks out of shape. Stay tuned for that one. And yeah, man. I just want to pop in to talk to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Keep loving, supporting this channel, and if you're new, hit that like button, man, because this team, it's gonna be fun watching. You got so much young talent this year. You got two legit starters. Jalen Hurts better be ready. I mean, they gave you everything, bro. They gave you elite receivers. He's gonna have what Dak Prescott has had. You know what I'm saying? Now Jalen Hurts gonna have the opportunity to show, yo, I can be what everybody says I can't be, and that is elite cornerback. He supposedly PFF rated him as what is it, 95 percent chance of winning MVP. I'm not going MVP. I just want him to win a division, win one division, like win me a division. Just win me a division. You know what I'm saying? Maybe make it to the playoffs and see where it goes, and be accurate. If he can work on those things, then we'll be fine. Even if 5% Jalen Hurts getting better is better than what we saw last year. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what Jalen Hurts is. I want to see that Jalen Hurts that I saw in his rookie year. Last year was to me where he struggled, and I think that's where he learned to be a rookie. But I think Jalen Hurts going to be better, man. Um, I can't wait for this season. It's going to be so fun watching this team. Flag was fly. I'm out. Go Birds. Yeah, peace.